Good morning, everyone. This is Semantics and Pragmatics. We're finishing. We're about to finish. So let me read the chat. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning. We are in the last few lessons, and that will be it, right? Then we will be getting into pragmatics. Yes, but that's super short in comparison to semantics. All right, last class, the lesson was on euphemisms. We listed the uses of euphemisms, and we stopped the video that I recorded for you. Stopped here. Okay, so to summarize this lesson, it says euphemisms can be used nefariously and with evil intent, but they can also be applied usefully to break stereotypes, to change fixed perceptions, and to provide alternative views of things. Among those things, economics, for example. So very useful. So we need to judge them, decide the usefulness of euphemisms. Okay, they can, as anything, any other thing, can be used for good or for bad. Yes. Then it says, a real problem with euphemisms arises from the fact that since euphemisms are often created by appropriating a legitimate term, use of the term in its legitimate sense becomes very difficult, if not impossible. Further, euphemisms are sometimes understood as secret symbols. This is another use of euphemisms. For something bad, when in fact they might not be. This problem arises from the fact that many euphemisms are inherently vague or ambiguous. So when you say euphemism, do you mean meaning or what? Or what does it mean? When you say underachiever, does it mean that the student is a slow learner, or that the student is smart but just lazy? That's why he's not getting straight A's, or this student has emotional problems. That's why he or she is an underachiever. So whenever we say underachiever, the word becomes too general and we don't understand. I mean, we believe something that might not be. Okay. The same happens with the following euphemisms. Okay. Damage control, massage parlor, alternative lifestyle, unauthorized withdrawal. Okay. Look at the what do they actually mean? Yes. What does this teach us? It teaches us that we need to talk in terms of specific concrete terms instead of vague and general terms. Think about this next year when you will be asked to write your thesis. Okay. Normally, we readers of thesis because they are too general. The statements are super general and we don't understand what they mean. So we say, I always write, specify, where, when, how, specify, why, like this. All right, next. What else does it mean? Even seemingly clear and precise euphemisms can be problematic because they channel our thinking along certain often incorrect lines. The term homeless for people living on the street is a good example. The implication of this euphemism is that what street people, formerly bums, need is a place. Masks the fact that the homeless are really a varied and mixed population of mental, addicts, beggars, and some people actually down on their luck. Okay, and in a need of a job and a home. So the term is too general again. Okay, that's what it means. All right. Emotive language. This is an interesting one, an interesting topic. Emotive language happens when people purposely aim at feelings rather than reason. Okay, when two people have an argument and they fight, it's not that the person starts thinking, "Oh, how can I choose words that will hurt?" Well, some people do, but in general, how can I choose words that will hurt the other person, their feelings rather than their reasoning? Okay, but this is this fallacy. It's called a fallacy, but this phenomenon of emotive language occurs mainly with advertisers. Okay, because they know us, they studied us, and they want to sell things to us. Llame ya, llame ya, llame ya. Yes, they really want to sell. A special offer if you call in the following 5 minutes. Okay, so we do not think I don't need this thingy, but I want it. I want this, right? Okay. So, but let's go focus on the manual. So, whenever we talk about emotive language, it says it is simply name calling. There is positive and negative emotive language. A negative emotive language is name calling. For example, look at this sentence. The plan is not only reactionary and extremist, but is also simplistic. So notice the adjectives that the people use. Reactionary, extremist, simplistic. Okay. So if we analyze these words semantically, they might be reactionary, extremist, and also simplistic from the denotation point of view, from the semantic point of view. But because of the strong negative connotations that these three words carry, people will get offended. You are criticizing their work. Okay, so that is emotive language. That that's a communist plan, if I have ever heard one. Okay, a communist plan. Yes, communism is just an ideology, and probably the plan is similar or identical to a communist one. But because the word communist carries these negative feelings, then the person will be just offended. I'll bet the Nazis believe that too. If you say that to someone, maybe they punch you on the face, right? But if you analyze what it's saying, I bet the Nazis believe it's highly probably that the Nazis believe that too, whatever they're talking. Okay, so these are examples of emotive language. Okay, emotive language is used a lot in politics as well. Look at this one. Governor, do you plan to stuff the court with judges holding your own prejudices? This is a question that was asked to a governor. Okay, so notice the implication. The person who is asking the question is already stating that the governor has prejudices. Okay, and probably the governor does have prejudices, but not in the sense that they are implying. Yes, everyone has prejudices, in some sort of prejudices. Yes, but not like that, because that's an open criticism already. So that's how it works. Okay. Then we have what is called emoters, negative emoters or positive emoters. So this is important, emoters. So mark this. Negative emoters. Many arguers are fond of using words which have a positive emotive force. Notice how easy it is to take a word standing for an ideal or concept we like to attach it to some concept that the arguer wishes to recommend to us. We demand free parking on campus. That's a normal request from students as one of every student's basic inalienable rights. And because of the word rights, that is an ideal, then people normally stop and think, okay, how can I say no to this request? Because they are talking about their rights. So the word right is a powerful word. We're publishing these military defense secrets because the people have a right to know. They are secrets. They are military secrets. But the people have the right to know. So they use the word right again. And who can tell anything? Who can say anything against that? Another one. Yes, we're tearing out this forest. Imagine what they're doing. Totally anti-ecological. They're tearing out this forest. But you're not against progress, are you? So what is the negative emoter or the positive emoter in this case? Progress, okay? Who can stand against progress? Who wants to stand against progress? Okay. Another one, hey, if I want to drink and drive, that's my freedom of choice. Drink and drive, that's illegal. But he's mentioning one emoter, my freedom of choice. Yes, and especially in the United States, this expression, freedom of choice, is super powerful. If you mention that, many people will stop and think. Okay, very good. Keep reading, read all the manual.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes,
How
yes.
do we know when it is a positive or a negative and a motor? Because
Excellent.
the
Mm-hmm.
context always isn't the right, like drink and drive. But freedom
Mm-hmm.
of choice is like something positive, right?
Yes, they are using a positive emoter because you are right, Shirley. Freedom of choice is a positive emoter. They are using a positive emoter negatively, not negatively, uh, in order to persuade something from doing something that is not correct. Okay, so freedom of choice is a positive emoter. Progress is a positive emoter. Rights are positive emoters. It's just that they can be used for evil or for good, depending on the objective of the person who uses these terms. Okay?
So we have to focus on the emoter rather the context.
Yes, the emoter. The emoter are negative or positive. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. People who know about about emotive language and that studied about that are advertisers, publicity, marketing. They know that language is a powerful tool for them to sell things out. Look at this chart in your manual. Notice, let's analyze names of cigarettes. Now, true, more, lucky. Notice that these words all are either neutral or positive. They are never negative. Okay. Now give the idea of something uh, enjoy now, for example. Yes. Truth. Who will be against the truth? Like if you say false cigarettes or cigarettes false, nobody will buy them. Okay. More as in addition, being rich or something. And Lucky. Remember Lucky Strike? There was a cigarette named Lucky Strike before. Okay, and detergents. Cold power. Okay, power. Cheer, joy, Mr. Clean. Notice that if we analyze, like without being this being cheated by the advertiser, the commercials, cheer, it has nothing to do with a detergent or joy. Why would a detergent be called joy? Anyways, I love it. I like the name joy. It brings me joy to do the dishes. Yay. Perfumes are usually associated with being sexy or with sin. You have taboo, seduction, my sin, obsession. Yes. And then toothpastes. They have to do with clear, bright, clean, fresh. So the names are Gleam, Ultra Bright, Close Up, Aqua Fresh. Okay, all of them convey the idea of fresh and clean. When I was studying English many years ago, I asked my teacher. He was from Australia, and I said, "What does close up mean?" Close means to not to open, and he said, "No, it's close, as in not being far away. Close up, you can be super close to another person, like this close. Can you see me? Yeah, this close to another person, and nothing will happen regarding having bad breath," he said. Oh, I can get closer to someone. Close up. Oh, it makes sense. Yes, because of the super delicious smell that comes out of my mouth after I use that brand of toothpaste. That's it. Okay. So, super interesting, the study of advertisers. Advertisers also like to use ambiguous positive emoters to puff their products. Tires are a good example. The terms heavy duty, premium, and 4-ply rating have no standard or defined meaning. What does 4-ply rating mean? I don't know, but it sounds super good. I would buy them. But they certainly make the product sound good, right? So if I buy something that says premium, oh, probably it's good and expensive too. And of course, how often do you see these powerful words screaming at you from the label of some products? New, free, the word free is magical. Miracle, improve. Yes, these words are magical. They have a magical effect. Okay, very good. Let's analyze two sentences here. One sentence is from, let's say this is ABC Color, and this one is Última Hora. Okay, so two different newspapers, and they are talking about exactly the same piece of news. It says, in the past, these hot rod hoodlums. What are these? These are cars, a specific type of cars. Okay, you have the meanings here. Where? Here. Hot rod, a car usually modified for specific purposes. A hoodlum is a violent and noisy young man, a violent criminal, a gangster. Okay, so in the past, these hot rod hoodlums have terrorized the righteously outraged citizens of Poppy Street. Okay, what have these gangsters done? The gangsters that came to Poppy Street beautiful, peaceful Poppy Street in their hot rods. They terrorized the citizens, and the citizens are outraged. They are sick and tired of them. And it's their right, yes, to be in peace. So what does the other newspaper say? In the past, these automobile enthusiasts notice how the feelings change immediately. It's not a hot rod hoodlum anymore. It's not a gangster with a specific type of car. It's just a fan of cars. And automobile enthusiasts have cheerfully visited, and in the other it says terrorized. So what did they do? They are patoteros. Huh? Cheerfully visited the envious old cranks. What is a crank? A crank is a person with strange fixed ideas, especially on a particular subject, an eccentric person, okay? And they are old, okay? And they are envious old cranks on Poppy Street, okay? So the choice of words totally changes the meaning of the news. In this case, both of them are telling about exactly the same thing, but the words that they choose have a totally different connotation, not meaning. The meaning is the same. Connotation. Okay. So here we have an exercise. The exercise says, why would a campaign organization choose one title over another for its committee to defeat a ballot measure? A ballot measure is voting, which would increase the alcohol tax. Okay, again, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to choose one or two or three statements. About what? Why would a campaign organization choose this title or this title for its committee to defeat a ballot measure which would increase the alcohol tax? Okay, they don't want the alcohol tax. They want alcohol to be free, not taxed. Okay, so here we have California for common sense. Notice, this is my wife talking. she, she is always saying, if you had common sense, you wouldn't be in this situation. It's just common sense. Okay, so this word, how can you be against common sense? Another one, concern citizens against unfair taxation. Oh, unfair taxation. Committee for Constitutional Rights. Oh, who will oppose to the constitutional right? See how the meaning keeps changing? Committee to protect corporate beverage. Corporate means in series, manufacturer. Fair liquor prices. Fair, as in justice. Fair beverage prices. Does it change when you say liquor or beverage? Is it different? Lobby has a super negative connotation. Then profits. Okay, so this is more neutral, let's say. This would be in a newspaper, for example. See? So, which of these would be better to if I want to win this. I want to persuade the public. So probably I personally, because this is super subjective, I would probably choose constitutional rights. That's, according to me, the most powerful, super powerful phrase that I can choose. And probably I will win. I will persuade more people using these words, constitutional rights. I like that one. Also the word unfair, because it has such a negative connotation, or lobby. Either one, lobby, unfair, those, I would choose those personally, because they manipulate people's minds, yes? If we analyze what lobby means, it's super neutral, but if we look at the connotations that it carries, it's super strong and negative. Okay. You have a practice quiz. This is super interesting to test yourself. So go ahead and do this at home. Okay. I have 10 minutes and I'm going to start this lesson on fallacies. I'm going to teach you only one fallacy today, and we will cover later. Okay. Fallacies are lies. So we're going to study lies today. Yay! Okay. They are lies because they are not necessarily
Sorry, Mister. Sorry for
yeah,
interrupt. Fallacies
yeah.
will be in Spanish falacias.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, correct. They are not necessarily done on purpose. Sometimes people just have a bad reasoning. They reason, their logic is not correct, and they lie. They commit a fallacy. Yes, but not necessarily on purpose. Okay, it's not evil. Yes. So look at the definition of fallacy: a false or mistaken belief, or a false reasoning, or a false argument. That's the fallacy. Okay. We're going to study 6 of them because there are thousands of fallacies, but we're going to study only 6 of them. The first one is called composition, and this is the only one that we're going to study today. Composition happens when a whole thing, something that is whole, like this, for example, this is a whole, one whole object, is assumed that is made up of parts 1, 2, and 3. And they are made up of parts 1, 2, and 3. Let's suppose this tiny thing costs $1,000. It's super expensive. Wow. Okay. So this costs $5,000. My false reasoning will be to think that the eye is super expensive. The tail is super expensive. The ears are super expensive, and the horns are also super expensive. Because the whole thing is expensive, I mistakenly believe that the little parts are also expensive. That is the fallacy of composition. Now the manual has a really good example. It says a cake. It shows a cake. Let's suppose I have a cake, a delicious, yummy chocolate cake. I try my chocolate cake and I say, yummy, this is fantastic. I love this cake. This is a really good quality cake. So the fallacy will be to think, okay, this is a very good quality cake, so probably all the ingredients are good quality. I want a chocolate cake similar to this. I will make a chocolate cake similar to this. So I will go to the supermarket and I will buy the best butter I can find, the best flour, the best sugar, what else? The best milk I can find, and I will go to the kitchen and I will make the cake. Do you think, and I don't know how to cook. Do you think the cake will come out okay? Even if it has the best ingredients, then it cannot be, because it depends on the fact that I can cook or not. Okay, so that is precisely what the fallacy of composition means. Okay, um, uh, have you have you already tried these new alfajores, Paraguayan alfajores? They are called tatacua, I think.
Yes, they
Alpha.
They are yummy. I love them. They are yummy. So I they I would commit the fallacy of composition if I say, for example, wow, this is a fantastic first world Paraguayan product. Probably all the products of Paraguay are the same. Okay, they are made with all Paraguayan products. Okay, the finest Paraguayan chocolate, we don't produce chocolate. The finest Paraguayan sugar, the finest Paraguayan dulce de leche, whatever. Okay, but notice that I believe that everything, because it's a Paraguayan alfajor, then all the ingredients are Paraguayan, for example. That's not necessarily true. They have a little of liquor too, and it's not a Paraguayan liquor. And the chocolate, it comes from I don't know where. Okay, so it works like this: is to wrongly believe something because of the properties of the whole, to wrongly believe that the little parts also have the same property. That is the fallacy of composition. Okay. Task for you. I want you to go over lesson 3 again, to read about euphemisms, emotive language, etc., etc. There are exercises in the manual. Do the exercises, and if you cannot do them, ask me questions. Okay. And also you can start reading lesson 4 already, because notice that this unit 3 is very different from the previous units. This is a lot of reading, yes, and the tasks are about explaining. So task, yes, Aleja, I don't know who, read lesson 3 again. Ask me questions. Do the practice exercises in the manual. Start reading lesson 4, fallacies. And that will be it. It will be okay. Do we have a quiz next week already? I scheduled a quiz, but I don't know when.
Yes, it's
I
for
think
the
November
for the
November 5th.
November the 5th. Is that next Friday already?
yes, next Thursday, I think.
Okay. It will cover jokes. You need to analyze a joke. It will cover semantic properties. You need to write the pluses and the minuses. It will cover semantic roles. You need to write the agent, the instrument, etc. These things is specified there already. Okay, I will be testing that. Clear?
Okay, Mister.
Super. Okay, and that will be it then. I'll see you then soon, next Friday, probably next Thursday. No, the platform is not working. So no, we cannot do anything about the platform now. But next week will be fixed already. They said that Inai said that next week the platform will be working. So don't worry about that. So if you need to submit homework next week, okay, I will extend the date. Okay, that's it. Then
Okay, Mister.
goodbye.
Thank you.
Okay, mister.
All
Thank
right.
you.
See you.
See
Bye
you.
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. See you. Stop recording. Alt You can talk now. Okay.